Welcome back. God bless you all. A recent question of mine within this project between clowns, demons, and circuses. The question now arises, what is the main goal or purpose of a circus? You see, a circus can be traced back to ancient Rome. The great Roman amphitheaters were even called circuses. Circus is Latin for circle. These circuses were devoted to gladiatorial combat, chariot races, battles, slaughtering of animals and other forms of bloody sports. The most popular sport of these was called Circus Maximus. Circuses were in operation for over 1,000 years. This is why in modern-day circus we see things like trained animals, parades, crowds and more, because it's the same exact thing. Let's compare. After seeing this, things seem to make sense considering the comparison that is over 1,000 years ago. The circus in the Roman times was the largest venue for public games and entertainment. The types of entertainment would be events like Roman religious festivals where they mocked Christians, God and speared on the very existence and belief in Yahweh. Deities were formed to do these things, like organizations specifically made to attack and humiliate Christians within these amphitheaters. Let's take a look at some of these organizations and cults. Within these older Roman circuses, consider the following with today's modern age circuses. The cult of Mars was the official state religion of Caesar's legion and was the only allowed religion in his legion-controlled territory. This religion was based around Mars, the Roman god of war. Mars actually claimed to be the son of Caesar and that he actually cleansed the earth in fire to give rebirth to human civilization. This sounds to me like self-righteousness, trying to again take Christ our Redeemer out of the picture and place the responsibility and action on another's hands, in this case, being Mars. We know that since the beginning of time, Satan had lied to us about being so-called gods as mentioned in the book of Genesis chapter 3 verse 5. Satan told Adam and Eve to tempt them to eat of the forbidden fruit. Satan said, "For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil." And by saying this, he tempted the young couple and lied to them. With the same thing Satan wanted from the start, just as we see with Caesar. Self-righteousness and worship. Gaius Julius Caesar was a Roman general and statesman. He was a member of the first triumvirate, Caesar had led Roman armies in the Gallic Wars before defeating Pompey in a civil war. After defeating Pompey, he then governed the Roman Republic and became a dictator and began the rise of the Roman Empire. This brings to mind of what Yeshua had said in the book of Matthew, chapter 22. Yeshua was tested by the Pharisees, hoping that he would stumble on his statements. The Pharisees asked him, "What thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not?" And they had shown Christ the coin with Caesar's face engraved on it. This is when Christ had spoken, "Render unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's." During this research, I had a thought come to mind. Consider this a theory of my own, but whenever these circus events were being held within these arenas, understand that Christians were used as tests within these arenas, as prisoners and slaves. Caesar's soldiers would place Christians within these arenas to compete, to be killed and mocked within the events they were holding. A sick, twisted source of entertainment. So, within these circuses, these events being held were involving the mass slaughtering of Christians or followers of God, with them constantly crucifying and murdering Christians daily. Whenever Christ, the true Son of God, the Messiah, was then being crucified, could it be that they may have thought he was the average Christian being persecuted? The soldiers did not believe Yeshua when he had spoken of being the Messiah, therefore they crucified him. However, after Yeshua gave up the ghost, the soldiers had then realized they were wrong. The cult of Jupiter Dolicanus has very few information about it, specifically because even back in those times, it was a mystery religion. This religion kept the customs and rituals very private in those times. However, what we do know is that at least 19 temples were built and dedicated throughout Rome to this mystery religion. But why and for what? It turns out, this mystery religion was popular with the cults of Mithras, Isis and Cybele. Therefore, let's break these three cults down. Isis was a major goddess within ancient Egyptian religion. She was the goddess of fertility and motherhood and considered as a female creator. This goddess, Isis, her name literally is defined as Queen of the Throne. Now what throne do you think that is? Satan himself. Cybele was another fertility goddess. Her name is closely associated with nature and she is often depicted with guardian lions. This brings on the false teachings based upon of earthly worship, also known as paganism. She is depicted in statues either on a chariot pulled by lions or enthroned carrying a bowl and drum, wearing a mural crown, flanked by lions. Followers of her cult would even work themselves into an emotional frenzy and self-mutilation trying to display loyalty to this false god. Let's take a moment and look at these symbols within the paganism religion. If it isn't obvious, notice the pentagram within the pagan symbols, being the center of the surrounding symbols. We see who is in the center of the pagan religion. Satan. My past project, Demonic Extirpation, I had mentioned that Lucifer used the false appearances of religions like Buddhism, Satanism, paganism and other so-called religions. Satan created this massive lie to not only separate us from God and Yeshua, but to leave us distracted by his fellow demons within these other religions like Buddha, in Buddhism, or Molech, in paganism. Throughout this whole video, understand that yes, all of this links up with our main focus within the Insidious Amusement project, circuses and the amusing entertainment behind clowns. We see that clowns originated from Cloyne demons. Ancient Rome held murderous events within original circuses. It's insanity as to what truth can bring out, so combine the two within these playful, child-friendly organizations and think. What is it that they are really doing? We see these organizations to this day like Shriners, Universal Circus, and Kappa Alpha Theta. Everything you had witnessed within this project, you have witnessed demonic connections, serial killers, Walt Disney relations, satanic influences, magical practices within circuses, killer clown sightings and much more. All involving the origination of the circus and the clowns inside. So we ask, was this influenced by deep governmental organizations? Absolutely. Is it still happening today? Yes, it is. And the biggest question of all, why did this occur? But that is for you to decide within this project. Insidious Amusement.